Texas Prison Story family, salute y'all. It's your boy Tim Snow back here with another one. First thing I want to say is I hope everybody's staying warm. We had this big cold snap just hit all the way across America from California to Florida, and it's brutal. We have people here with their pipes busted and cars locked up and all kind of stuff. You know, Texans don't do too good in this weather, so I hope everybody's safe and have a Merry Christmas. This video I'm gonna do right here, I wanted to kind of wait until the holidays to drop it, get a little bit closer to the time when it's supposed to happen, and maybe put it on people's hearts just a little bit better, if you know what I mean. So this is some news here about three of the major Texas prison gangs. They're going to try something starting January 10th. Something that has been tried before here without much success, but this time they're going to do it with a little bit of difference, and that's going to be publicity. I have a friend that I met about a year ago. She'll tell you what, she's a beautiful soul. She's one of the number one top people in the entire world that take care of Texas prisoners' rights and stays in contact with everybody. She knows more people on the inside than anybody I've ever known. And she's also associated with about 15 Texas prison gang members, I think, from all different gangs. Okay, she's the one that's helping to coordinate this activity right here. And this is going to be the first time ever that these prison gangs work together. So it's pretty different. And we'll have a little bit more information about that in a minute. But I want to tell you where this is happening at, what prison it's going to affect, because it's quite a list. And I'll explain why that matters also. It's going to be at Pulaski Unit, Ramsey Unit, Allred Unit, Clemens Unit, Cofield Unit, Michael Unit, McConnell Unit, Wainwright Unit, Stiles Unit, Memorial, French Robertson, Ellis Unit, and Estelle Unit. Okay. There's going to be about 300 men, all active prison gang members from the Aryan Brotherhood, the Mexican Mafia, and the Aryan Circle. All three of them are starting on January 10th on a food strike. Okay. If you don't know what a prison food strike is, it's basically considered the most powerful peaceful protest that you can do. These guys have been since 1984 confirmed and locked down in solitary single man cells for no other reason than their affiliation. Okay. I'll let you decide how you feel if that's right or wrong, but my friend gave me the numbers. Okay. It's unbelievable. There's only a little bit over 1,200 men in the Texas prison system that are confirmed active prison gang members versus probably about 100,000 in the system. Okay. So we're looking at roughly 1% of the population. That's it. These guys here are definitely members of serious organizations that have bad reputations, things like that. But almost all of these men here have done their time trouble-free, never catch cases. They stay disciplined, they stay organized, and they're still locked down. Okay, well, there will be people that say they need that. I won't agree or disagree, but I'll let you know that every Crip, every Blood, every Latin King, Gangster Disciple, any Tango member, anything, walk freely through the prisons. No repercussions, giant tattoos across our bodies, displaying what we are. One of these men from their organization come, and it's immediately private detective time. They're trying to catch them. They have gang officers whose job it is to catch these men. And they haven't done anything. The judge did not sentence these guys to do solitary confinement. Okay. The judge sentenced them to do time. What the weird situation is, the state of Texas prison board is adding to their sentence. Okay. The only people I've ever heard about that get sentenced to solitary confinement are people like Larry Hoover, people like the Shoe Bomber, people like the Unabomber, things like that have actually either led these organizations from the inside, called shots, hits, killed people, stuff like that, but never just for being a member of anything. And as a man that's been a state prison and federal prison, I can tell you that this isn't needed. It's not necessary. It's a money ploy that they do. Okay, they can have an extra system to get more of a budget, point blank, period. Because at 1% of the population, these guys have been stopped posing a threat. It might actually be a target. But what they're planning to do is they want to be freed. They're not asking to go home. They're not asking to be released or any of that. They're asking for equalness. Just allow them to live their lives in there. And we know 80% of the men back there locked down in these solitary confinement conditions that are known to be extremely detrimental to your mental health, physical health, just does all kind of things to you, from men doing self-mutilations to suicides to people yelling and screaming on all sides of you and all that. It's just a miserable existence. And they're just asking for equality. They have a program in Texas called GRAD, the gang renunciation, something another, to where that's the only way to get out of this solitary confinement is renounce your gang, basically telling everybody, give up all the info, stuff like that. Well, they've only graduated 55 people last year, we found out. They have something like allegedly a $5 million budget and only graduated 55 people. So they're spending, I'd say, what is that, about $100,000 per inmate? Something don't really sound too right about that. There's a lot of money being dedicated to this, but not a lot of people getting accepted and not a lot of people allowed in the program. They're not really doing much with it. So maybe somebody needs to check into that a little bit. What they're going to do is January 10th, starting at the Breakfast Chow, all 3 prison gang members and some members from other gangs are getting ready to refuse to eat until something can happen. And when you say this, some people might take this lightly. You understand? Well, they'll eat when they get hungry. No, not this time. Because they're under orders to continue. Okay. And the way a food strike works in the state of Texas is after your first day, you're notifying them you're on a food strike. They notify the authorities. They get medical ready. And starting on your 3rd day, they weigh you. They take you in, weigh you. And from then on, they'll have psychiatric evaluations of you. Okay. See, the reason this never worked before in Texas for any inmates is because the state has a legal right to force feed you if they deem you mentally insane. Okay, think about that. They literally strap you down, put a tube through your nose, and squeeze a bottle and feed you like that. Only if they can deem you mentally insane, which was extremely easy to do with 1 or 2 men. A doctor that's on their side, a system where nobody's watching. He can sign a little paper. Guess what? You're mentally insane, and your food strike was just forcefully broke by the system. There's nothing you can do about it. If you don't eat, they're going to hold you down and make you. Well, these men here are going to be totally different. For one, you're not going to be able to label 300 men insane that aren't, without drawing red flags. You understand? The other tactic of breaking a food strike is separating these people. Don't allow them to stay together. Okay, well, this time, if you spread them off all these prisons, guess what? They're not going to do anything but spread the word and grow the food strike. Think about that. The very last thing in the TDC rule book about a food strike and how to deal with it is do not sensationalize it or basically talk about it. That means zero media attention and don't let people on the outside know. Okay. So their whole trick that they try is basically deem you insane, force feed you, and send you back to your cell, and it breaks your spirit. It's not going to work with this many people and with people behind them. and getting some publicity. Hopefully this video gets some views and people understand what's going on. When these guys do the food strikes, okay, you have to understand what it's doing to their bodies, to their kidneys, to everything. Some of them are diabetic. They're participating. It don't matter. Some of them have all types of physical problems, and they're still participating. They're so tired of being back there. They're so tired of watching the death and destruction back there that's being caused to them for no reason, that they're willing to just basically give up their life this time. So I'm really excited myself to see how long it goes, and we hope it gets some resolve, because it's literally the stroke of a pen that can fix this here. And that's it. You know, like I say, they're not asking for anything extra, nothing. Just to be treated like normal men. Hey, if they mess up, they go to the hole too. But why are they there for life, knowing they didn't mess up in there? You know what I mean? Clogging it up to where nobody else can go. So we're going to see. If this was California, it would work fast because people are liberal. Long-term confinement has been banned out there. Doesn't even exist anymore. I think New York stopped the same thing. There's a lot of countries that won't do it. We've had men back there in solitary confinement since the 80s, and began doing that time on their first day. You know, and y'all know me. I don't support, push, or help gangs. That's not what this is about. This is about them as men. You know, every single day having to eat their meals brought in on a cart where it's nice and cold like ice. Every single day getting passed over for medical. Every single day getting ignored back there, point blank, period. You understand? It's a miserable life. And they're just trying to fix it. And my thing that I did find out too, my friend told me, she said 80% of the men back there will be home one day. So y'all have to think about that. 80% of these people that you're turning into monsters, you're giving paranoid, schizophrenia, psychosis to, you're doing all this, 80% of them will be released and possibly come live back next to you. There's no rehabilitation in that. It's causing more problems. So we hope that people get behind this food strike. We hope that people support it. If you're any type of media, any type of reporter, anything like that, I will put you in touch with somebody that can give you all this information. They love to speak with you. And we want to get it out there, y'all. So do me a favor, click thumbs up on this video. Share it out to me to your share it to me. I can't even talk. I'm sorry. Share it for me to your social media, to your Facebook, to your whatever. And let's just get this out there, man. Because starting January 10th, there will be over 300 men starving to death on purpose right now. And we just wish them well. Y'all pray for their safety and health and stuff like that. Because they're going to play a lot of dirty tricks on them. One thing I was told they'll do, they'll take you in there, weigh you at first with no handcuffs, then take you back and weigh you with your handcuffs and say you've been eating and end the food strike officially. Now it starts over. Stuff like that. So a lot of tricks, a lot of games, but we're really trying to get this out here, y'all. And we got some good people behind us. So thanks very much. Merry Christmas. We'll see y'all later. Texas Prison Stories.